Standing above me, a tall figure is swinging a great axe at the goblins, scattering like pigeons. Get lost, you little freaks.
Let's split. Vamoose!
Yeah, alright everybody, welcome to the Indie Showcase with the Birdman. I am said Birdman. This here is that time I got transported to a totally normal Isekai. Not entirely sure why it says not over there in parentheses. That's a little bit odd now, isn't it?
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Under the glow of a blue sun, I watch a bird I've never seen before perch on the branch of an unfamiliar tree. I walk past it, chafing my heels in worn boots that fit loosely on my feet. God, I hate walking. It's the main reason why I chose an office job in my previous life. Get a hold of yourself. Any amount of walking is worth the completely fresh start in a new world. I remind myself, I'm literally living my dream. A fantasy reality that I've only seen glimpses of in my favorite anime and fan fictions. In this world, I've been going by the name of Don Falcon.
Nope.
What do you mean Don Alcon? No, Falcon. Ah yes, Don Falcon. I've only been here a few days, but I'm already enjoying the lack of internet forum arguments and insensitive normies who make fun of people like me. Does that really happen nowadays? I feel like nerd culture is like the end thing, like everybody wants to be a nerd. Either way. Here I'll reinvent myself as a new person, and maybe even find a nice looking girl to bed. Oh, hey, speaking of which, it's been a while since we've started walking. Would you mind checking the map? Speaking of which, that's what I said. Leia was the first person I met when I woke up. She was spoon-feeding me a mixture of herbs and water to help me regain my strength. If not for her healing magic, not her feeling magic, that's what comes later, I would still be bedridden in town. Oh yeah, of course, let's stop here for a moment. I reach into the bag at my side and pull out a roll of old parchment. Apparently, when Leia found me, I had nothing on me except for the paper clenched in my fist. She was too curious not to study it and spent hours going over its ancient language and landmarks. When I had enough strength to sit up, she had explained that it looked like a map to a great treasure that was hidden only about a 2-day journey outside of town. While its proximity to people might mean it was already looted, the fact that it was nearby made it worth checking out, especially since I had not even a copper piece to my name. I think we're on track. We'll follow the road for another hour or so, and then we'll have to cross into the forest for a bit. Leia had asked me to join me on the journey, citing her knowledge of the surrounding area, ability to cast offensive and healing spells into various languages she could translate. While I agreed to her joining me for all those reasons, in reality, I was more focused on her, other attributes. Would this be the start of my dream harem? Let me see the map. She moves closer and leans over my shoulder. The warmth of her skin smells like summer peaches. Summer peaches, huh? Supposed to the spring ones and the other ones around the, time of the year. It looks like we turned into the woods right before we reached the fallen tree. She looks at me and smiles. See, aren't you glad I joined along? You've been really helpful. Leia blushes and pulls her hood over her head. If you really mean that, I guess. I do. Leia pulls her hood further over her face, but is unable to stifle a slight giggle. Come on, let's just get going. The sun's gonna set soon and we want to make good progress if we're gonna get that treasure. Before we get up from our spot, we suddenly hear the rustling of the bushes nearby. Oh no, it's the goblins!
Goblins.
Bursting through the leaves are a group of goblins, each armed with sinister-looking weaponry. One of them puts the point of a spear at Leia's neck.
Oh, what's this we've been hearing about the treasure?
Hey, get away from her! A second goblin spear whips towards my face before I can reach for her. She can't see me lose to a pack of unshowered goblins. What's attractive about that? I screw my eyes shut to think. Oh, one of them went flying. Before I formulate my master plan, the goblin in front of me goes flying. So does the other one. Cracking one eye open, I take a peek at whatever the hell's going on. Oh no. Please. Please, do not cuck me. Please. Snoo, lady. Standing above me, a tall figure is swinging a great axe at the goblins, scattering like pigeons. Get lost, you little freaks.
Let's split. Vamoose!
The patter of frantic goblins' footsteps dies down and I stagger to my feet. God, this is embarrassing for you. 2 goblins is what it takes to finish you off. Well, believe me, I haven't been finished off, alright? That's what we're kind of working ourselves towards.
Oh!
It's not like we didn't have it under control, Vanessa.
Whoa. Lane knows this hot girl? And she didn't tell me about it? Vanessa, huh? You two know each other?
Sure, I mean,
Someone has to guard the town while Leia reads all of her perverted books in the library. Isn't that right, Leia? I don't read those things. It's just nice spending time with spellbooks. Yeah, and all those spells sure did help out against the goblins. Better than staying up till 2 a.m. drinking alcohol with the recruits. Now Leia's tugging at my sleeve. Come on, we have to keep moving, or the treasure might be... Oh, the heroic treasure hunters, I love it. The treasure. As per usual, I feel a brilliant thought coming on. If we got this girl on our side, our chances of surviving this treasure hunt will triple. Not to mention, the harem grows, right? And it wouldn't be half bad seeing her around camp. Hey, Vanessa. She cocks an eyebrow towards me. Oh crap. It's way scarier when she's actually looking at me, but I have to go for it. If you help us out, a third of the treasure could be yours. She snorts, looking at me up and down. And why would I want to saddle up with you? Well, I assume you're looking for a challenge? Unless 2 goblins is your idea of a big adventure, in that case, be my guest and stay here, where you're nice and safe. She narrows her eyes at me, and drums her fingers on the handle of her great axe. Sure, I guess I had nothing better to do. And Leah might wind up dead if I'm not here to keep an eye on things. Wait, I'm not sure this is a good idea. Let's see. I can think of 2 large reasons why it's a good idea. Don't make me dirty my axe with your blood. What's the big deal? You have 2 giant gauntlets. Yeah, that's what he meant. Obviously, get your minds out of the gutter, you creeps. The gauntlets. Uno, doso. Doso gauntlets. I know it's dos. Can't have fun before somebody's like, actually, Falcon, the proper pronunciation of that is dos. As the golden light fades from the horizon, strange birds call through the trees. By the time we make camp, my feet ache and my stomach is gnawing at me. Still, at least there's Leia and Vanessa's constant bickering for entertainment. I really think this campsite is too exposed. Oh, please. What, are you scared of a human being walking by and you have to talk to them? Come on, girls, chill. Don't you want a peaceful evening after all that walking? Vanessa snorts. Like, I'll get any peace around her. If I were you, I'd stay away from the nerds. Vanessa strides over to the center of the camp to start a fire. She's impossible. I don't get what you were thinking when you hired her. Leia stomps over to a nearby tree and takes out a book. It's clear that neither of them are happy with me talking to the other. Who should I spend the evening with? Well, I think we can make a little save right here, can't we? All right, sir. Let's go with It isn't long after we get the fire started that the sun begins to set. The night is cool and the flames give off a glow that makes everything look so ethereal. Living in the city before, I can't remember the last time I had seen something by firelight. The calm night is immediately interrupted by a monstrous sound coming from under my shirt. Oh man, I haven't eaten anything all day. I glance over and luckily Leia's too busy reading notice. Vanessa, however, is looking at me in disgust. Since I doubt the ability of either of you to win a fight against a rabbit, I guess I'd better go hunt us something for dinner. Vanessa turns towards Leia expecting a response, but Leia's too engrossed in her book to notice. With an eye roll, Vanessa picks up her great axe and head towards the woods. Thanks. Stand to choke out a half-hearted thanks, but Vanessa's gone before I can say anything. I slump down, my gaze drifting towards Leia, and I catch her staring at me. Uh-oh. She breaks eye contact and turns a deep shade of pink, quickly closing and hiding the book under her legs. Huh? I look away and pretend to tend to the fire. After a few minutes, when she thinks I'm not watching her anymore, she takes a small quill from her pocket and continues scribbling in her book. What could she be doing that's so important? I stretch loudly and walk nonchalantly in her direction. I'll pretend to be heading into the woods to take a leak and sneak a glance at her notebook on the way. She's so focused on the page that she doesn't even notice me getting closer. Now let's see what's... Glancing down, I see that both open pages are filled corner to corner with drawings of... me? Oh, startled, Leia looks up to see me staring. Ah! Leia waves her hand. A transparent magic barrier pops into existence around her. She slams the book closed, but not before I notice a distinct lack of clothing adorning my many penciled bodies. I can explain. My mind races with questions, but all that manages to escape my mouth is... It's not that large. Why'd you even tell her that? It's fine, just give her the illusion that it is, and then we'll worry about it not being so large later.
You're a rascal.
What I mean is... Leia holds her hood down over her tangerine hair and curls her body into a tight ball. She groans, the shimmering barrier muffling her voice. I'm sorry, you weren't supposed to see that. It's okay, I guess I was a little surprised is all. It's just that I like to daydream sometimes, okay? People are usually mean to me, so I avoid them in real life. In fact, you're the first person in a while who hasn't called me a witch or a demon. In my book, though, they can't do anything that I don't want them to. Between her colorful outfit and a small stature, I wonder how anyone could see her as a dangerous monster. Imagine that. I sit down next to her, feeling the warm ground and soft grass between my fingers. So you're saying you're single? Well, even with a hood, I can see her tears welling in the corner of her eyes. I haven't found anyone that's even willing to hold my hand. Do you I mean, it's a little bit premature, like we should probably date for at least a decade before I could to even, have any sort of physical contact with you, but, I guess we can make an exception. Her fingers slowly intertwine with mine, like vines on a stone wall, perfectly fitting into the spaces above my palm. Even though I can sense the night growing colder, I don't shiver. The warmth of her hand on mine feels like a second campfire. Leia shifts closer, leaning her head on my shoulder, and I take in her perfume. You mean her summer peaches? We sat there for a long time, watching the embers leap off the flames like tiny shooting stars. I fall asleep to the scent of fresh strawberries and warm vanilla. Oh, it's no longer summer peaches, now it's strawberries and vanilla. Gotcha. By the time we find the entrance to the cave the next day, the moon is just reaching the peak of its arc. Both Leia and Vanessa are in the midst of yelling at each other, but the fight quickly peters off when they see the description floating in the middle of a cave's opening. The map bearer must enter with their most trusted companion. We stare at the words in silence. I can sense the staticky feeling of powerful magic coming in waves from the cave's entrance. There is no doubt that these rules need to be followed. Leia and Vanessa turn to each other with a smug look and speak in perfect unison. Well, it looks like your journey ends here. You've got to be joking. That cave is definitely full of monsters. What are you going to do? Throw a book at them? I didn't think you were too stupid to read. Let me help you. It says most trusted companion. You're just going to kill Don Falcon as soon as you get into that cave so that you can have the treasure all to yourself. You just think that because no one has ever liked you enough to trust you. Let me teach you something. In the real world, honor trumps everything. A woman is nothing if not her word. I would never backstab Don Falcon like that. Really? Putting honor above everything, above kindness, above empathy, it's the luxury of rich men and entitled bitches. You weaseled your way into our camp because of what? Killing a couple of goblins? How do we know you didn't set up that scenario yourself? It was awfully convenient how you arrived just in the nick of time to save us. Well, it doesn't matter anyways because Don Falcon's going to make the right decision and pick the person who can actually protect them. I agree. They're going to make the correct choice and pick the woman who actually cares about them. Both of them turn their eyes towards me and suddenly it feels like my face is getting microwaved. My mind goes to the message in the cave. If I choose someone I don't trust and we walk in, do we just die? And what about the girls? This choice is obviously very important to them. Whoever I don't choose is sure to leave, maybe forever. I choose... I choose Leia. Yes! What? I can see Vanessa reaching for her axe, but Leia grabs my hand and pulls me out of her range. Leia yanks me through the floating words like runners at the finish line, but not before taking one last chance to turn around and make a face at Vanessa. And she raspberries. Leia starts to laugh, and I find myself laughing with her as we both sprint into the dark, hearing our almost frantic joy echo off the walls. She looks in front of me, lighting my path with her bright giggles and strawberry aroma, not vanilla this time. I squeeze her hand and she tightens her grip on mine in response. I know then that I've definitely made the right choice. It's not long before we see a naturally blue light illuminate a bend in the cave tunnel. Come on, we're almost there. She lets go of my hand and dashes towards around the corner. Hold up. I feel a breeze come from my head, cooling the sweat on the front of my shirt. When I round the corner, I see a small room, an ocean blue portal on one side and a whiteboard on the other. What? A white board? Isn't it supposed to be a medieval world? Looking at the board, I see it's divided into two, with Leia's name on one side and Vanessa's name on the other. There's dozens of tally marks on both sides of the board. Leia's next to me, to the board, holding a dry erase marker and bouncing with excitement. Leia, what? I stepped forward and immediately hit an invisible wall. What is this? I put my hands out and feel my elbow bumps against the similar barriers flanking in my sides. Leia, I think I've been trapped. I'm in some kind of transparent box. Leia? I reach my palms up and they touch a flat, shimmering ceiling a few inches above my head. My sweat goes cold when I feel my hands being pushed lower and lower. Leia, help! The box is getting smaller. Help me! I pound the invisible walls, but they might as well be steel. Suddenly I hear footsteps echo behind me and I turn to see Vanessa stomping towards me. Vanessa, help! Can you hear me? I'm trapped! She ignores me, walking inches past my shrinking cage. When she arrives, Leia squeals in delight.
A new winner has been crowned. And won't you just listen to that crowd?
She breathes out, imitating a cheering stadium. I'm trying to figure out what is going on when I feel the barrier touch the top of my head. I slump down a little to accommodate and feel a few beads of sweat running down my neck.
Don't get too full of yourself. You're lucky we grabbed a spineless one this time. Oh, you know it's more than luck. I keep telling you time and time again. Men don't want scary, powerful women.
I'm forced to one knee, and then to two. My vision goes blurry as tears begin to blot around on the ground under me. Each breath feels thinner than the last. Someone help, please. I don't want to die.
You're delusional. Look at it. The prey just happened to be more of a loser than usual. I'll adjust my breast size, throw on a little bit something skimpier, and I can guarantee the next one will be all over me. Agree to disagree. Now hurry up and mark the board already, or we're gonna miss it.
I crane my neck up and as much as I can and watch Vanessa snatch the marker from Leia. With a look as if she were stabbing herself with a dagger, she places the marker under Leia's scrawled name and adds another tally. The board squeaks with the force she puts into it. The barrier touches the back of my head and forces my face down between my knees. The front of the box pushing my hair down to my eyes. Every panicked breath sends a cloud of dust and grit off my dribbling nose. Please, let me go. I don't want to die. Please. I feel the barrier touch the small of my back and a sob bursts from my throat. I hear them talking, but the shrinking prison prevents me from looking up.
I'm especially proud of this one. It's a callback to the magic box I used in the fireside scene. It's called dramatic irony. Not that you know what that means. You've always wasted too much time with that spectacle of it. I don't know why you have to make a show out of it every time.
With nowhere left to sink, I feel the pressure on my back increasing, a dull pain turning sharp like a slow knife. The pain crescendos into a crush and my throat opens into a long scream. I can't feel my legs anymore. The pressure of my knees pushing into my upper body cracks one of my ribs and I feel something soft expand and pop within my torso. An unnaturally hot feeling spreads through my stomach like someone had poured warm water directly into a hole in my back. I miraculously find enough space to take a short breath and cough, sending a small chunk of dark red flesh sliding up to my esophagus to splat onto the cave floor in front of me. The liquid around it almost reminds me of a cherry cough syrup. As my vision goes black, my forehead touches the cool cave floor. The last thing I hear is Leia's voice.
Ooh, here comes the big finale. Hear it?
And look at that. 2 endings. One of them has indeed been unlocked. One would imagine that the other one is when you go the Vanessa route. And you know, with these type of games, wouldn't be surprised if there's like hidden endings or something like that. I would do the Vanessa one, but you know what? This is a free game. When it comes to free games like this and just developers, you know, putting something out that's free and available to everybody, I like to send them a little bit of traffic. So you know what? I'll have the game link for you guys down below in the description. Check it out for yourselves. See what the other ending might be. And maybe there's any secret endings as well. Not a bad one. Very quick, very short and to the point, and you know, it builds you up and then, whoop! Aha, we were just trolling you the entire time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you next time.